him, y'all. It looked like Benny spit this boy out. Tiny, you got some explaining to do.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out. Nah, I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Y'all, the rumors are starting with T.I. It's coming out that King is not his son.
The Harris family has always been under the public microscope, but lately their youngest son, King Harris, has managed to drag them into an entirely new storm. What was once a picture-perfect hip-hop household presented on television and social media has unraveled into public fighting, accusations, and whispers.
A day in my life. You did have to come to my grandma's house.
About family secrets so deep they could tear apart the very image that kept them famous. The mess seems to grow bigger by the day, and people online cannot stop dissecting every new development. It all began during what should have been a harmless afternoon at an Atlanta Falcons game. King, who had already built a reputation for having an explosive temper, was live streaming himself in the stands when things quickly went left.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your. Everything you make, I can pull out my. Nah, I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it, and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Onlookers saw him get into a heated altercation with a man nearby, with King puffing himself up as though he had something to prove. Instead of backing away, he broadcast his anger, insisting he was standing firm and showing everyone how serious he was. The performance may have impressed a handful of fans, but to many others it just looked like another privileged celebrity kid putting on a show. The situation might have stayed as just another embarrassing live stream clip, if not for the way his father reacted. T.I. had clearly had enough of his son's outbursts.
Yeah, man, it's a lot about that TV show, man, that got people confused. Because I live with my grandma. You know, we'll go to the house on like a weekend. They'll say, hey, we shooting today. We need y'all at the house. They'll come get me from my grandma.
He stepped into the confrontation, not to defend him, but to challenge him. Witnesses later described the shocking sight of a father physically restraining his son in the stands, even putting him in a headlock while telling him that he was trying too hard to act tough and embarrassing the family in the process. The crowd was stunned. The rapper, who had built an empire on commanding respect, was disciplining his own child in front of thousands, and King was clearly humiliated. Afterwards, the teenager took to Instagram and lashed out. He declared that he was grown now, that he was his own man, and that even his father had no right to treat him like a child in public. The rant immediately set the internet ablaze.
Okay, so I would say what hurt me would be like, I'm honestly like my mom being like with Tip all the time.
Damn.
Like,
timestamp that.
that timestamp that. I feel like even now and today, like that's how it is. Like they're just tied to the hip. But now I'm grown, so it's like I can't really. But it's like they rather go places with each other. So anytime he gotta go, she gotta go. She gotta go, he go. It's just like.
Fans debated whether this was simply a spoiled rich kid angry about being embarrassed, or whether his words hinted at something deeper and more painful under the surface. Many remembered that this was not King's first public outburst. Months earlier, he had gone viral after being filmed disrespecting Waffle House employees, treating them like they were beneath him just because of who his parents were. That incident had already painted him as entitled, and now this new clash with his father only reinforced the perception that he had no respect for anyone, not even his own family. But King wasn't finished with controversies. Not long after, he made headlines again when he dared a homeless man to take part in a cruel challenge. He handed over a dangerously spicy chip and promised money if the man could eat it without water for 5 minutes. The man was visibly suffering, but King laughed it off as entertainment. The clip circulated widely online, with fans and critics alike calling him out for mocking someone less fortunate. King, however, brushed off the criticism as if it were nothing. Instead of apologizing or showing remorse, he acted as though he was above it all, feeding the image of a kid completely detached from reality. It was around this time that the Falcons game altercation began to take on a new layer of meaning. King's claim that he felt neglected by his parents started to spread, and old receipts surfaced to back him up. Despite growing up in a millionaire family, King revealed that he had spent most of his childhood living with his grandmother in the hood. According to him, he only went to his parents' home when the cameras for their reality show were rolling. Once filming Wrapped, he was back with his grandmother, away from the luxury lifestyle that viewers believed he enjoyed full-time. This revelation shocked many fans who had bought into the image of the Harris family as one big happy household. Other children in the family confirmed similar experiences. Tiny's daughter admitted that she too had spent most of her upbringing with her grandmother while her parents traveled for work. What people had seen on the show, the cheerful dinners, the perfect family bonding, had been carefully staged. Behind the scenes, the children were often with relatives while their parents built careers. Suddenly, the altercation at the Falcons game looked less like a spoiled son challenging his father and more like years of resentment spilling out in public. Then came the rumor that took the entire situation into even darker territory. Online chatter began circulating that King himself had told friends that T.I. might not even be his biological father. This claim, if true, would explain the deep resentment he displayed when his father tried to publicly show affection or discipline. Fans suggested that his anger wasn't just about being embarrassed, it was about feeling like a fraud whenever his father tried to present him as his son in front of the world. The whispers quickly gained traction when photographs began circulating of a man named B. Anthony. Observers noted an uncanny resemblance between King and this man, and before long, social media was filled with side-by-side comparisons, fueling speculation that he was King's real father. Tiny, King's mother, never addressed the rumors publicly. Her silence became its own form of confirmation for many. If there was nothing to hide, people argued, why not shut down the speculation? Instead, the lack of denial only poured gasoline on the fire. Soon, discussions about King weren't about his disrespectful behavior at restaurants or online challenges anymore. They were about family secrets, questions of identity, and whether the family millions had been built on a lie. For King, this cloud of uncertainty turned his every move into a referendum on his legitimacy. When he ranted online about being abandoned in the hood, people now wondered whether he was lashing out not just because of neglect, but because he never truly felt like he belonged. When he clashed with his father at the Falcons game, viewers debated whether it was simply father-son tension or the breakdown of a relationship that may not have been built on blood in the first place. Every Instagram Live, every outburst, every emotional meltdown was scrutinized under the lens of possible betrayal. What made it all worse was the way T.I. handled things. Sometimes he defended his son, brushing off incidents like the Waffle House situation as meaningless. Other times, he doubled down, harshly calling out King's behavior in public, like at the football game. The inconsistency only deepened the divide. When you add in the rumors of uncertain paternity, every embrace started to look staged, every disciplinary act seemed excessive, and every public moment between them was picked apart as possibly fake. Meanwhile, King's attempts to launch his rap career have been overshadowed by the drama. Instead of people talking about his music, they talk about whether he is really from the streets, whether he is truly T.I.'s son, and whether his outbursts are authentic pain or just a gimmick to boost his persona. His songs barely get the chance to breathe before they are drowned out by gossip about his family. Some argue that having famous parents is a curse, because no matter what you do, the world insists on writing your story for you. In King's case, the story being written is one of confusion, neglect, and broken trust. This is not to say that King has no responsibility for his own image. His actions, from mocking workers to taunting the homeless, continue to alienate potential fans. Critics say that he comes across less like a young man expressing his truth, and more like someone desperate for attention, no matter the cost. Others believe his anger and rebellion come from a place of deep hurt, from trying and failing to earn the respect of his father, and from carrying the weight of whispered secrets that he may not fully understand himself. Every time he insists that he is standing on business, it feels like a child crying out to be taken seriously, hiding his vulnerability behind bravado. The Falcons' game clash was the moment that made everything visible to the public. It wasn't just a father and son arguing, it was years of bottled-up resentment boiling over. When T.I. restrained King in front of everyone, it turned discipline into humiliation. King's reaction afterwards, raging online about how he was a grown man and how he had been wronged, revealed the depth of his pain. He wasn't only lashing out at his father, he was lashing out at the entire world that had always seen him as part of a picture-perfect family he never truly felt part of. The tragedy is that King is not the only child in the family to feel this way. His siblings, too, have spoken about spending more time with their grandmother than with their parents. Fans who once adored the Harris family reality show now look back with bitterness, realizing that what they saw may have been little more than a scripted facade. Years of investment in the illusion of the happy, united family have crumbled in the face of these revelations. Where does this leave King? On one hand, scandals can destroy a career before it even begins. On the other, some artists have taken their pain and transformed it into art that resonates with fans precisely because it is raw and authentic. King's story, as messy as it is also painfully real. If he channels his struggles, his feelings of abandonment, his search for identity, his desperate quest for respect, into music, he may carve out a niche that sets him apart. People are drawn to authenticity, and in his chaos, there is plenty of that. But if he continues to lash out recklessly, disrespect strangers, and treat suffering as entertainment, he risks destroying his reputation before his music has a chance to shine. Right now, King stands at a crossroads. He can rise above the drama and earn respect for his craft, or he can become just another celebrity child remembered only for scandals. T.I. too has a role to play. If he truly wants to repair the relationship, it will take more than public lectures and staged displays of affection. King has made it clear, through words and actions, that he craves love and guidance behind the scenes, not just for the cameras. Whether or not T.I. is his biological father, he is the man in the position to offer that. A father-son bond is not just about DNA, it is about trust, consistency, and presence. Until those things are restored, the cycle of outbursts and public humiliation will continue. And so, the Harris family saga keeps rolling on, messy, raw, and impossible to ignore. What was once a glossy reality show image has dissolved into a real-life soap opera of identity questions, generational conflict, and family fractures. King's future hangs in the balance. His next choices will determine whether he is remembered as a successful artist who overcame his struggles, or as another cautionary tale about fame, neglect, and broken families. The conversation is far from over. Every new outburst, every rumor, every Instagram rant only adds another layer to the mystery. Fans are hooked, not because the story is glamorous, but because it is messy, painful, and undeniably real. So what do you think? Is King Harris simply acting out like a spoiled child? Or is he crying out for help in a family that never gave him the foundation he needed? The debate rages on, and only time will reveal the truth. In the meantime, share your thoughts, drop your comments, and let's keep the conversation alive. And if you want to follow the twists and turns of stories like this as they unfold, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next chapter.